In the sun-kissed village of Leora, music wasn't just sound, it was language. Every house had strings tied from rooftop to rooftop, like golden spiderwebs strung with bells and ribbons. When the wind passed through them, melodies danced in the air. And in the heart of the village lived a boy named Kael. Kael couldn't speak with words, he was born without a voice. But when he touched the strings, the sky would listen. His music was his soul poured into wind and color. One day, as he played a tune he'd never heard before, the sky shimmered, and a soft voice whispered from the clouds, "Find the place where the song began." And so Kael began a journey, not with a map, but with melody. A story not written in ink, but in sound. Kael followed the music in his heart. He carried a small lyre strapped across his back, and every few steps, he'd pluck a note not to guide him, but to ask the world a question. Villagers watched him pass, offering smiles and fruit. Some nodded in rhythm to his gentle tunes. Beyond the village, the road curved into hills painted in wildflowers. The sky above shifted with every melody, a soft pink when he played in joy, a quiet gold when he played with longing. As he reached the hilltop, a woman waited. Her long cloak shimmered with threads of silver and sky. In her hand, a flute carved from crystal. She did not ask his name. Instead, she played a note. One single, clear sound, and Kael's lyre answered without his touch. "The song remembers you," she whispered. "You were born from its silence." The woman with the crystal flute called herself a lyra. She walked beside Kael without words, letting their instrument speak. "You play with questions," she finally said. "Not to be heard, but to be understood." Kael smiled, touched one string. A warm chord echoed the thought. Yes, by dusk, they arrived at an ancient garden hidden behind a veil of humming vines. Lanterns floated mid-air, glowing like slow-moving stars. Trees swayed in rhythm, as if remembering a forgotten dance. "This garden was once a school of sound," a lyra said. "Before voices became noise, before music turned into performance." Kael sat beneath a glowing willow and played. Not a song, but a memory, his mother humming on a rainy afternoon. The garden listened. Then, for the first time since he could remember, a vine reached down and tied itself gently to his wrist. And from it, a single note bloomed, clear, eternal, soft as starlight. That night, Kael slept under the singing trees. Dreams came not in words, but in chords. He floated among harmonies, saw shapes made of rhythm, felt the heartbeat of stars. At dawn, the garden woke with a soft hum. A lyra was already playing low, steady, like a river that remembered its path. Kael joined her. His lyre strings glowed faintly with morning light. Together, they played a duet that had never existed before. The vine swayed, the lanterns blinked, the air shimmered. And then click, in the center of the garden, a stone wall cracked open. Not with force, but with music, a door appeared, carved entirely from sound. It pulsed like a living thing. A lyra turned to him. "Only those who ask without fear may enter." Kael stepped forward. And with one quiet note, he walked into the unknown. Inside the sound-carved doorway, there was no floor, no walls, only light. Not blinding, but soft, warm, like the inside of a memory. Kael floated, not with wings, but with faith. His lyre hovered beside him, strings glowing like threads of sunrise. Then, voices, dozens, hundreds, not speaking, but singing. They came from every direction, from every time. Some sounded like lullabies, others like thunder, but they were all part of the same melody. And Kael realized, this is the first song, the one that made the world. A voice rose above the rest. It was his mother's, not a memory, but her essence, joining the choir. "You were never voiceless," she sang. "You were just meant to speak differently." Kael wept not in sorrow, but in release. He lifted his lyre one final time. The chord he played didn't echo, it expanded. The garden, the village, the sky all vibrated with that one sound. And from that day on, people no longer just heard music, they listened.